Aunt Mary's Guide to Raising Children the Old-Fashioned Way, written and narrated by Amy S. Peele. Prologue. Reflections. In the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves, and the process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our responsibility. Eleanor Roosevelt. This collection of short stories reflects what I believe was a very common approach to raising children in the 1950s. Back then, parents didn't give a kid a timeout. One good roar or a swift smack on the bottom got the immediate results they wanted. It is my belief that because of people like my great-aunt Mary and my parents, there are many psychologists, psychiatrists, and therapists making a solid living and owning second homes today. There are lessons to be learned from their creative approaches. It is up to the reader to be the judge. What I know is that my 5 siblings and I did not end up in a mental institution or federal prison. Please knock on wood. Every time we start to recollect a story in front of non-family members, silence and glances of disbelief ensue, followed by laughter. Those who have their own car keys usually don't stay for dessert or an after-dinner drink. The brave ones are still married to some of us. There are stories that come out of my free and easy summers at Lake Wawasee in Indiana with Aunt Mary and some of my sometimes intense and painful days at home at 335 Indianwood. I now think Aunt Mary was just an easy, funny vehicle for me to discover and rediscover where my twisted coping strategies and practical values originated. My life was laced with love, happiness, struggle, violence, Irish humor, and the promise of relief from the cool summer waters of Lake Wawasee. I survived a childhood with 5 independent, strong-willed, intelligent siblings from a broken home. My father left us in 1961 when I was 8 years old. I was the 5th of 6 kids, and my mother's mission was to keep all of us kids together in Catholic schools solely on the cash salary of her private duty nursing jobs. She was and still is a devout Catholic after 2 divorces and a 3rd marriage that lasted over 30 years. The memories and lessons we shared created a bond between us 6 kids that can never be broken. I most love those rare moments when several of us are together and someone starts to tell a story of our summers on Lake Wawasee at Kale Island. Each of us listens, watching the storyteller to make sure all the details are accurately depicted. To my intelligent siblings and mother, I say this: I am writing what I remember from my childhood, how I processed the world from the age of 6 to 12. If you have a different version of our life back then, I invite you to write it. We can sell our books in sets. It doesn't take money to raise kids with proper manners, a hard work ethic, and no sense of entitlement. Provide freedom to children and allow them the room to exercise their imaginations, and there's no limit to what they can accomplish. Many of the stories in this book reflect lessons that continue to serve me well to this day. As with any memory, it's not what the memory does with you, but what you do with the memory that makes it either a useful lesson or an excuse not to do what you were put on this planet to do. Chapter 1. The Brothel. Treat a lady like a whore and a whore like a lady. Milton Peele to son John, age 7. I was 7 years old and did not know how to spell brothel. It was a word I'd heard my parents use repeatedly when talking about my mother's Aunt Mary. I overheard my parents discussing her one evening when they were in the living room down the hall from my bedroom. She has no tolerance for kids running around in her house. And that Bubs and Danny, they still wait on her hand and foot. I can't believe she bought them the house around the corner just because they ran the brothel for her. They're waiting for her to kick the bucket so they can get all her money. Milt, if you hadn't gambled away the last 3 paychecks, we might be able to take the kids on a real vacation like other families. Wouldn't it be nice to go
Sample complete. Ready to continue?